Hi, this is Ernie with the Inland Empire Saber Team, and I'm going to be doing a review of the Parks Sabers Echelon lightsaber. Now, this lightsaber starts out about 11.5 inches just for the hilt, 47.5 inches for the entire lightsaber all put together, including the blade. Some of the good points about this lightsaber, one is the EL wraparound here inside the grip, and when you turn that on, you see it gives a nice effect that the actual energy from the blade flows all the way through the hilt. It's a nice little detail. The next thing you'll notice is that it does have a Graflex style switch box, like you would see in the original trilogy lightsabers. For those of us actually who prefer the original trilogy lightsabers as opposed to prequel trilogy, it's a little harkens back to the original trilogy. The next one is the cover tech. It's already ready for a cover tech clip. Any cover tech clip will do, and it'll also fit in many of the aftermarket ones that will cover any kind of wheel knob for cell phones, anything else like that. It'll fit most of them, and it's already there and attached. The next thing is that this particular lightsaber runs on a 9-volt battery, which they hide here in the pommel. Just a little set screw that holds the pommel in place, and there it is, a 9-volt battery. Now this lightsaber is fairly thin, really light. It's great as a belt hanger because of its lightweight. The cutouts in the hilt are just a nice styling cue, just to add a little more dimension to it instead of just a straight piece of metal. The great thing about these is that you can wear it as a belt hanger because it's just the hilt, because the blade is completely removable. Again, just another set screw and the entire blade comes out. You'll notice on the switch box you have the LED lights, which even when powered off, the LED lights are constantly flashing, letting you know that everything is up and ready to go for when you decide to turn it on. And it's just a simple push of the button to turn it back on. You notice that the bar graph constantly flows when it's powered up, and shuts off. You just hold the button for a second, and there it goes. One of the nice benefits of this thing is the durability of the blade. Now, I have sparred with these full blast, and all you see are just a few nicks and scratches here. No cracks, no breaks. I've actually seen demonstrations from the Parks Saber team themselves where they just went and started slamming these things on a table with no damage to the lightsaber itself. Now, some of the drawbacks in this particular blade is the battery life. Now, there is no case for the battery. It just slides in and it stays there. Now, the battery life isn't very long because it's one 9-volt battery. The other drawback here is the bar graph, the LEDs on the switch box. They stay on all the time, even when you've got it in storage. So if you want the batteries to last any kind of decent amount of time, whenever you're not using it for an extended amount of time, you do need to disconnect the battery or just not care about how long your batteries last. The other thing is that the brightness of the blade is kind of hard to see in daylight. When you put it together, right here we're a little bit shaded, so you can see the color of the blade. But in daylight, it's a little harder to see, especially in this color. The other thing is that the weight of the blade is really heavy compared to the weight of the hilt itself, so it makes it a little top heavy. And then the blade is a little longer than you might want. The blade itself is about 3.5 feet long, which again adds to the weight, but takes a little getting used to, especially if you're used to twirling and wielding. The other issue is that the cutouts on the hilt, when you're spinning, tend to dig into your hands a little bit because there's no buffer there. And the only other real complaint here is that there is no soundboard in these particular sabers. Other than that, it is a great saber. It's great as a belt hanger. It's great as a display piece. A few minor drawbacks, which coupled with the rest of it, are not a real issue, just slight little complaints. Other than that, I highly recommend the saber, and I love it. Thank you very much. Again, this was Ernie from the Inland Empire Saber Team.